Coming in from Australia, the much talked about row between the Australian government and the social media tech giant Facebook has temporarily come to a halt after both the parties agreed to a concession. The government of Australia has announced that Facebook will be restoring Australia news pages. The development comes after the government agreed to amend a world-first media law fiercely opposed by the tech giant. Treasurer Josh Frydenberg and Facebook indicated a compromise had been reached on key aspects of a law that would force digital giants to pay news companies for their content. Australia will offer 4 amendments, including to the mechanism for final offer arbitration, which has been a bone of contention for the two sides.
Well, Facebook has refriended Australia, and Australian news will be restored to the Facebook platform. And Facebook has committed to entering into good faith negotiations with Australian news media businesses in seeking to reach agreements to pay for content.
The commercial deals are expected to be announced soon. Facebook has spoken on the changes and said that they will now work to further investment in public interest journalism. Australia and social media group were locked in a standoff for more than a week because of a legislation that challenged Facebook and Alphabet Inc.'s Google's dominance in the news content market. Remember, last week, millions of Australians woke up to find a drastically different version of Facebook, devoid of any news content. Overnight, Facebook banned Australian users from sharing or viewing news content on its platform in response to a proposed law that would make the tech giants pay for such news content. The pages of health departments, governments, fire services and the Bureau of Meteorology were also wiped on Thursday. Now, Prime Minister Scott Morrison had angrily accused Facebook of making a decision to unfriend Australia. Following this, Facebook was hit with global backlash. Canadian and UK lawmakers threw their support behind Australia last week and said they would look at similar legislation in their country. So the big question is, how has a compromise been reached finally? Now, this happened after talks between Frydenberg and Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg over the weekend, and a concession has been struck. Now, Australia will offer 4 amendments. Now, the first of which includes a change to the mandatory arbitration mechanism used when the tech giants cannot reach a deal with publishers over fair payment for displaying news content. Now, the amendments include a 2-month mediation period before the government-appointed arbitrator intervenes, and thus giving the parties more time to reach a private deal. It also inserts a rule that the internet company's contribution to quote-unquote sustainability of the Australian news industry via existing deals be taken into account. Now, the issue has been widely watched internationally as other countries, including Canada and Britain, consider similar legislations. But for now, it seems the Australian government and Facebook have friended or befriended.